Oh, Jesus. Tree just unloaded on me. So I got this bass here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I'll cut it today. Oh yeah, you know I caught it today. He didn't hit the ground. Honest, he didn't. I'll try to do this as fast as I can. Well, yeah, fast with instruction. So I got a new knife. Yeah, I'm gonna be smoking this fish. So, yeah, I'm over here. I'm gonna be smoking this fish. Well, the fillets of this fish, anyway. So, I'm gonna scale it. Because it'll hold. Normally I'd probably leave the scales on it, but nobody likes dealing with scales at the dinner table. So I am going to scale it with my new scaler. Here we go. This is a scaler, not a horse comb. Well, I mean, it is a horse comb, but it's a scaler. Alright, so. Oh, and I got a new knife. Dexter 1378 is the fillet knife. That is what most commercial cutters use, and I mean, this is from Amazon, but normally it should have a really a parabolic bend. I think that's what Sammy said. This one's a little bit stiff here at the tip, but it should be good. That means this steel is a little bit harder up here, so it'll hold an edge better, which is excellent because this part of the knife is the first dull. Now this is factory sharpened. I haven't had an opportunity to sharpen. Well, I mean, I haven't sharpened it. I probably have had an opportunity to sharpen it, just haven't done it. So, like I said before, this outer ring is probably a little bit too much, but you know what? I'll show you how to get the wings off. Right here, right up here. That's the wing. There's some bones, like a bone here and a bone that articulates to this fin. But this is a usable piece of meat, breaded and fried. It's fantastic, especially with like grouper, red snapper, striper. And one thing about striper, whatever you don't eat the day you caught it, it's going to be fishy the next day, no matter what. Like even this fish, I got this fish, and within 2 hours he was on ice. Doesn't matter that he's not terribly large. That dark meat's going to be fishy the next day. It'll be nice and mild tonight. Look at this. My other sweatshirt is soaking wet, so I gotta wear my good hoodie or sweatshirt, whatever the hell it's called. Oh no, she's coming out. She's gonna give me a raft of shit for putting scales on the ground. Guaranteed. Oh, she's in. I'm good. So, tail to the head with the scaler. And usually double over each spot at least. There's a bunch of scales right here that I usually missed. You know, one of these, I would like to get some porgies and show you how to, porgies or white perch, show you how to remove the fins without clipping them off for, you know, pan frying them. There's a neat way to do it where the bones come out. Because if you clip them, you're making twice as many bones, or not twice as many because you're taking half of them off, but you know what I mean. So, really surprised that I got a striper today. Like, it's a good thing because I'd probably still be there trying to catch a bluefish. And I tried catching some blowfish while I was there, but that didn't pan out. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I found a pretty neat lure when I was at one spot. Alright, that's somebody left there. So, if you feel right here, there's a bone. And if you feel up here, you can feel the skull. Right there, the beginning of the skull. So that's what we're hitting. That's what we're headed for. So we're going right behind that and up towards the head. Now, I'm not cutting down this way. I'm cutting at an angle like that. And straight bass, you get anywhere from like 36 to 42, 48%, depending on the fish. They're really kind of a finicky yield type fish. All right, so after we cut down to the spine and the bones that radiate out from the spine, we're just going to keep the tip of the knife on the top of the spine, and we're going to draw back. This part of the knife here is going to go in to the spine, which is right about there. So we're going to run back like this, but we're going to have the knife on more of an angle like this, not like this, like this. So we're cutting with this part of the knife. Okay, that's important because again, this part of the knife is the first to dull. So we go in, and we come in here, and again, bring your work to the edge of the table. Okay, work to the edge of the table, and once you find the tip of the knife up there, right up there, once you find you're on top of the spine, you just push down and see that, the bend in the knife right there? I almost just fell down. That's what you want. You want to push down the big time. Alright, so that's into the backbone. You see we went all the way into the backbone. Now, striped bass are kind of somewhat different to cut. They have a rib bones. These bones in here, the rib bones, come out a little bit higher. And they come out like that from the spine. They come up a little bit. So what I usually do is I'll come down right behind, like, you know, middle, halfway between the vent and the pectoral fins. Go down to the tail, free up the tail, and then come back this way. And when you come back this way, lay the knife down like this. Okay? And you'll go up over the backbones. Missed a little bit of meat there, but that's okay. Now the next shot, we go down the rib bones, and the rib bones get kind of soft further towards the belly, further that way. So now right here, that's part of the wing. I would have probably we're going to leave that on. I'll cut that off and we'll show you how to get that off. So again, you just kind of walk the knife out. I mean, I could do it with the whole knife, but I've been cutting for years. So alright, so you just walk the knife out. You just free it up and bone back. Right, so we cut through a bone there. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, this knife is not terribly sharp. It's sharper than that white knife I cut the fluke and bluefish with, I think. My son, I showed him how to sharpen a knife, and I think that was the beginning of his spiral downfall into knife snobbery. but that boy can get a knife sharper than I can consistently. I have trouble, you know, sometimes you have, you know, some days you have it, some days you don't, and I think that kind of goes for everybody, you know, with in terms of sharpening. So that's a nice fillet right there. That's a nice fillet. Now this fish weighed 8 pounds according to my antiquated German scale. So here's 28 and 3/4 inches, almost 29 inches. Here's all the bones right here. So if you can imagine, the vent would be here. The vent would be right there. It's about halfway, like again, halfway between the vent and the pectoral fin. The pectoral fin would be here. So just a straight cut down on this side, and then turn the knife like that. And that's all the bones right there. That is a boneless fillet right there. No, well, it's actually not boneless. I see some bones right there. And there's a bone right here. This is part of the wing. There's a wing bone in here. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Alright, so I think they're probably good too. This is going to be smoked, so these little thin, feathery bones are going to be cooked out. Oh no, don't. Is that the dog? That's the neighbor's dog. If that thing comes out and barks, I'm going to make this 1378 a throwing knife. Alright, so the other side. Second side's always more difficult. Always more difficult. One of the reasons is that you have a big void right here, right? But same thing, free up the head first. Free hat McCullough. Oh, hit the bile sack. No biggie. Free up the tail. And bring your work to the edge of the board. Bring your work to the edge of the board. And then, like, it's kind of useful just to get through the skin with the first shot. Oh, I feel a scale there. Hang on. Hold up. Hold everything. Like a novice scale. Alrighty. So, through the skin. That's a good gland for first cut. And then into the backbone. Now, I don't know if you notice right here, I kind of cut through the other side of the backbone. Once you find the backbone with the tip of the knife, it doesn't matter what you did there. If you started it back there and just come forward, it's making a liar out of me, right? If you just start it there and come forward, it will find these bones that radiate out from the backbone. Again, so halfway between the pectoral and the anal fin, you stick the knife in, anal, pectoral, stick the knife in, down the other side of the backbone, okay, and out there, and then that was up like this. Now we're going to come down like this. See that? We're going to come down like this. As we go forward, it's going to be more and more like that, so watch. Goes in. And then out the other side. See that? We don't miss anything. There's a little bit of a bone there, but we'll get that after. Alright. Nice. Alright, I'll shit. Ooh. Oh, he's got some parasites in his gut. That's kind of nasty. Yeah, how neat was it today? Getting a striper. I go down there to catch a bluefish, a lowly bluefish. A lowly bluefish. I kind of like bluefish. I think bluefish are, well, they definitely are much cleaner than a striper. You know, it's a striper. You catch when you buy your freshwater fishing license, right? I don't know if there still is. I still buy the freshwater license, but they used to have a free magazine, New Jersey Digest, I think it's called, and there's a food advisory bulletin in the back of the magazine, and it says not to eat more than 1 8-ounce portion of any fish caught in estuary water, so like the Delaware River, Cooper River, whatever creek is around here. Not more than 1 8-ounce portion per year because of PCBs, lead, and dioxins. Now, 1 portion per year, that's an 8-ounce portion. No, I think it's actually a 6-ounce portion, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong with that. But that's like a deck of cards. That's the size piece per year. So a striped bass that lives in the Delaware River is gonna just be full of contaminants. Whereas a bluefish is a pelagic fish. It doesn't ever really enter fresh water. They do, but not like a striper. Stripers, that's part of their life cycle, is fresh water. They're an andromenous fish, which I find fascinating. The ability to drop salt and pick salt up for a fish, it is truly fascinating. I find all fish very, very, very fascinating. There you go. Anyway, alright, so if we look at this here, when you go like this, you'll see there's a bone right here that's attached to the skull, and then it kind of articulates with the meat down here. So what we're gonna, did you even see that? A bone up here that comes from the skull, and then it kind of articulates through musculature right there. If you go, I'll get a close-up of it. If you go on the bottom side of that bone and pull the knife forward, you can free up that bone. You don't have to cut through bones. Again, when you cut through bones with your knife, you're kind of messing up your knife. Well, not kind of, you are messing up your knife. And you got to re-steel it after. So again, there's the bone that's to the skull. We're going to get under that bone and just run forward, and then there's a membrane that attaches the gill and the body right there. See that membrane right there? That white membrane. So all we're going to do is we're going to come around, we're going to cut through that and free that up. And you do that on both sides, and then you can pull forward and liberate it from the rest of the fish. Liberate it from the rest of the fish. I do apologize for the camera not pointing right to the fish all the time. I am trying not to cut my fingers off. I am quite tired and kind of cold for essentially late in May. Thanks, Al Gore. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to just cut this right in half here. Now, you can't help but cut through the bones with this. Luckily, I know somebody that can sharpen my knife after. Alright, so we'll cut through that. Now, normally I'd cut these off, but I don't have my scissors out here with me, I don't think. No, I don't have them out here. But once you cut it, you can free this skin up towards the head. So that would be towards the head. Free that skin up a little bit there. And it works really well on red snapper and grouper. I've done it a few times with striper, but my hands are really slippery, so I'm going to chase the fish around. We're going to spray it off. There we go. And you just kind of work your thumb between the skin and the meat, working from the head towards the tail. It is important to scale this. Well, I mean, it's not imperative that you scale it, but it just makes it easier. You won't get loose scales all over your fillets. You do one step at a time, clean up after each step, and it makes for a cleaner fillet. So that is it. And that I would probably resurface because it has some bile on it. There we go. Now we cut these fins off. Although you can leave them on, you can probably cut this off too. I mean, you can't cut through it, but that's all meat. You know, I used to, when I was cutting, they called me the gut bucket gourmet because I would take the wings home from, you know, giant red snapper, 10-pound true American red snapper, which the yield on them is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's a great eating fish, but it's an expensive fish. I would take these big 10-pound bruiser red snapper wings home. Hey, watch your mouth over there. I don't even curse on my own videos anymore, since I had to edit for hours and hours and hours. But that's it. That's pretty cool, eh? So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up, clean the board up, and we will portion these out. And these should be like probably 2 pounds each. Actually, let's figure out how much they are. So that's 8 ounces. That's a pound. That's a pound. That's 2 pounds. So we got 4 pounds of fish. I guess, what am I going to do? I'm going to be smoking this, so we'll go ahead and cut the tails smoke better because they're thinner. There's 2 portions. There's 3, 4. And these aren't 8 ounces. These are probably 6, 7 ounces. 6 ounces probably. And then as they get thicker, you kind of want to make them thinner. As the meat gets thicker, you want to make the portions a little bit thinner so that the marinade and the smoke can get on them a little better. Alrighty, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 portions. That's 2.5 pounds. So we'll do 1 more, and then the rest of it. Oh, I got another recipe for striped bass. Well, for striper and tuna. That's damn good as well. I should probably show you that one too while I'm at it, eh? While I'm at it, because who knows when I'm going to catch another keeper bass. Last year I got 2. Yeah, I got 2. I got 1 last year this time. That's pretty cool. I didn't even think of that. I got a picture of me holding the 28, 29-inch striper right in the front of the lighthouse last year. And we'll go ahead and we'll make 6 portions out of this. Nice, nice. That was a good day. It was a really good day. I can't wait to show you guys this smoked fish recipe. So what you're gonna have to do, I don't know, let me rinse my hands off before I grab the camera. I think I'll probably make 3 separate videos, like 1 a fishing video, 2 a cutting video, and L. a smoking video, and we'll smoke. We will burn, cook, smoke some fish tomorrow. Well, today's Wednesday. I'll do it Wednesday because it's got to sit for at about 12 to 24 hours, something like that. But we'll get into that next time. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you watch the next video. It's going to be awesome. And you really need to try the recipe. If you're into smoking fish, it's a great recipe. If you catch striped bass and you want to marinate, check out the marinade. Tuna, mahi, just any firm fleshed fish, swordfish, it works well with all them. It's a soy teriyaki, ginger, garlic type thing. Oh, and sugar. Yeah, but you're gonna, what are these kids doing? Jeez. Oh, anyway, see ya.